Is the crown too much? Well, you will tell me. Hello guys and everyone, welcome to Ring Royalty. So this is my first video in this channel. I was thinking about making this channel for a long time, but I've never actually feel confident enough to do it. But now, after your support in a survey I did in my original channel, Alexis Girani, now I feel more confident, and I hope you guys enjoy this type of content as much as I enjoy doing it. So, as you know, my name's Alexis and this is Ring Royalty, and today I want to show you first my little set. I have a poster here and I have some figures from women's wrestlers because I've been in love with women's wrestling for about 15 years now. That's a lot of time. So anyway, today's video is going to be the Money in the Bank review, the pay-per-view that just happened this past Sunday. And today we're going to talk about only the two female matches that we got in that card. The first one was Bayley against Tamina for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Before talking about the match itself, I want to talk about that little interview we got with Bayley and Sasha prior to the match. Kayla was asking Bayley if she might blame Sasha for their loss in a tag team match this past Friday night on SmackDown. And Bayley didn't let Sasha answer. She controlled, trying to say that once again, the stupid sheeps, those people, is going to make some assumptions. They're going to try to make a bridge between Sasha and Bayley, but that's not going to happen. And at the end of that little interview, Sasha once again gave us that stare that makes you believe that maybe she could be betraying Bayley pretty soon. But once again, nothing happened. I'm going to talk about that later. I loved Bayley's new gear because that color really suited her. I really enjoyed it. And Tamina's side, I don't know what's happening with Tamina. I mean, we always get the same thing. It's been years since we haven't seen a different outfit from Tamina. Talking about the match itself. So, I really love Tamina. I think she deserves a title run because she's been with the company for over 10 years and she never got a real chance to shine. Over 10 years and she never got a good women's title run. She never got a women's title run at all. So I really wanted her to succeed. It was really likely for Bayley to retain, but still you have some hope. I know Tamina isn't the greatest. I know Tamina isn't probably the most technical superstar either. She doesn't have a lot of high risk stuff aside from Superfly Splash, but I really think she deserved it. Maybe a short run, maybe a cash in from the Money in the Bank winner, I don't know. However, going back to the match. The match itself was very slow paced and I was a little confused with Bayley's character because throughout this feud, Bayley and Sasha have been coward heels. So Bayley and Sasha basically been running away from Tamina and only striking when Tamina has her back turned. In this match, it was quite weird that we start with Bayley trying to bully Tamina because now she was a face, trying to say that, oh, where is the good Tamina? Where's the bad one? Who are you? Blah blah. Basically Bayley trying to bully Tamina, which is not believable as they have been trying, being the keyword, to build Tamina as this dominant force once more. And it was a little confusing. I didn't understand. Throughout all of this match, actually, Bayley was acting like a savage, like a very strong heel, like a dominant heel, like she wasn't afraid. There were like small bits of the match and she looked like afraid, as well as Sasha, but the majority was Bayley and Sasha being basically dominant. I am not sure what they tried to do there. I was a little bit confused. On the other hand, Tamina. So, Tamina, she needs to improve her cardio maybe. I love her. She has some good moves, but you could tell that she gets tired pretty fast, and that actually affects the match, especially when we talk about a one-on-one match. There's no one else to cover a spot when you're feeling tired or when you are not ready to get up again. So there were good spots that I liked. For example, when Bayley blocked Tamina's super kick and transformed it into a knee bar. I haven't seen that from Bayley since TakeOver Dallas in 2015, when Bayley lost the NXT Women's title to Asuka. That was really cool. Another spot that I really liked was when Tamina launched Bayley against the ropes outside of the ring and then hit her with a clothesline that looked stiff, that looked good, but there were some other spots that were very clunky. You could tell that sometimes the pace was off, Tamina looking to both sides before throwing Bayley to the announce table. It was good, but at the same time it looked like it took way too much time, and then she was thinking about what to do. Also, when Tamina was trying to catch Sasha Banks outside the ring and then they go back inside, you could tell that Sasha could easily sneak away, but she had to slow it down or pretend to be caught in the ropes so Tamina could catch her. And those small details were, don't want to say ruin the match, but maybe it didn't help to build as what we wanted to see. Basically, the match ended with a crucifix pin by Bayley after a distraction from Sasha. Bayley retained. It was predictable. And after the match, since it was a crucifix pin, Tamina left Bayley again, pretending to do a Samoan drop, and then Sasha attacked Tamina to save Bayley. And we go back to the same problem with this feud or this teasing between Sasha and Bayley. So the interview before the match did absolutely nothing for this match. There was not even the slight chance for Sasha to betray Bayley, or even trying to during all this match, and even saving her afterwards. So I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe they are saving it for SummerSlam, Bayley versus Sasha for the women's title, but I know that all of you watching, or the majority of you, myself included, want to see that Bayley and Sasha feud, but I guess we have to wait. And the second match we got was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And aside from the Royal Rumble, I think this match is one fans love to see. Probably they have the most anticipation for it. Checking the participants, we have from Raw Asuka, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. From the Smackdown side of things, Lacey Evans, we have Dana Brooke, and Carmella. I want to start this by saying the Smackdown qualifying matches were so much more entertaining than the Raw ones. First of all, because all the Raw qualifying matches happened the same night, while SmackDown had 3 weeks. And all of the SmackDown qualifying matches, they actually had something special. Dana winning against Naomi was a huge upset. It was a big surprise. Then we have Lacey Evans and Sasha Banks' rival that comes back from months, I think January, comes back from January. It was a good way to actually make Lacey go over, of course with the Bayley and Sasha misunderstandings. And to finish, we have qualifying match between Mandy Rose and Carmella, which we knew Carmella was qualifying because Sonya was going to distract Mandy somehow, but all of them had great storytelling. For Raw, they'll happen the same night, and aside from maybe Asuka against Ruby Riott that had like a 7-minute match and it was very hard hitting, it was good time, it wasn't too long, it wasn't too short. They did everything they could and the match looked good. The Shayna squash against Sarah Logan, I didn't really like it, to be honest. I know it's character build-up, but still. And Nia Jax against Kairi Sane was basically a squash but a little bit longer. So yeah, that's what happened. Alright, so going back to the match. I love cinematography. I love when they do this type of movie matches, like the Boneyard match with The Undertaker and AJ Styles at WrestleMania, or the Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania as well with John Cena and Bray Wyatt. I used to watch that type of matches on Impact when we have the 100 round with Su Yung, Ali, and Rosemary back in 2017, 18 or something. Anyway, so I really like those matches when we don't have something as important and prestigious as the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. I enjoyed this match, but at the same time, I think it was more like a parody than an actual match. So let's rewind a couple spots. So we started the match with Asuka. Asuka basically started the match because she wasn't in the lineup when they present everyone, or they did an entrance in the first floor or the ground floor of the corporate WWE headquarters. Asuka flew with a crossbody, taking out all of the other participants from the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and then she took the elevator. Something that a lot of fans were talking about that could happen, and it actually did happen. But then we moved back to the men's and the women and the men and the women and the men and the women, and at some point you couldn't tell what was going on. Maybe you got a little bit lost. Who was where and who was fighting against this person? I don't remember. It could be a little messy. We all know that. Alright, aside from that, a couple spots that I want to check. First of all, this match was good, but I don't think it was what everyone wanted to see from a Money in the Bank ladder match. A spot that I kind of laughed at, but at the same time thought it was unnecessary because it was obvious they've been promoting that the briefcase was going to be on the roof, is Dana Brooke trying to grab a briefcase in a conference office. What? I mean, we all know that the briefcase is on the roof. Dana, haven't you been paying attention? We love you, girl, but like, come on. I like the chair shot against Nia Jax that Dana did, and then Stephanie McMahon came and told Dana to do and then Stephanie McMahon came and she basically said that you have to take Nia out of the floor because she was drooling. Well, the cameo from Stephanie wasn't really necessary, but a couple of spots that I did like were, of course, Dana's chair shot, and then Carmella grabbing her self-portrait and putting it on Dana's head, destroying it. And of course, at the end, when she was moonwalking out of the conference room, she got punched in the face with a women's rival, Lacey Evans. Those couple moves were very nice, but still, the cameo from Stephanie was unnecessary. And well, Dana, we know that you were doing something ridiculous. Come on, Dana. I really want you to step it up. Alright, so now we move to one part that started as something that you could laugh at, but it finished in something ridiculous. So the foot fight with Paul Heyman. So at this point in the match, we had both men and women participants on the same spot with a food, well, with a table full of food and Paul Heyman. Then Otis shouts, "Foot fight." And that's when the thing turns out into a mess. The only thing I like about that foot fight was Shayna Baszler locking the Kirifuda clutch on Rey Mysterio. That was nice. And then Mysterio got squashed by Otis and Nia Jax. He got pancaked or sandwiched. But aside from that, it was a little bit necessary. It lasted way too much. And the worst part is that Carmella got put through a table with a powerbomb by Nia Jax. And then she was out of the match completely. She never came back. The same goes for Dana. Dana Brooke, I think she was chokeslammed against some vending machine, and then she was out of the match as well. We never saw them again. It was a little bit sad because why taking them out there? Why couldn't they at least reach the roof? Another person that didn't reach the roof was Shayna Baszler. She was attacked by basically all of the other participants left. She got a kick from Asuka, she got a women's right from Lacey Evans, and then she got chokeslammed by Nia Jax against the wall. And we never saw Shayna Baszler again. She never reached the top. I'm sure a lot of people were happy with that because most people were afraid that Shayna was going to demolish all of the rest of the competitors like she did in the Elimination Chamber match. That was not the case. It was a shocker. For me, it wasn't that big of a shock that she didn't win because we had some other women with momentum like Asuka and Nia Jax, even maybe a shocker like Dana Brooke. But what actually shocked me or surprised me the most was that Shayna didn't even make it to the roof. Aside from Carmella, Dana, and Shayna not making it to the roof, we got Asuka, Lacey, and Nia fighting it out. At least we had 3, half of the competitors. It wasn't just 2. It was nice to see that Lacey got mixed with some Raw women, because we thought it was going to be Nia, Asuka, and Shayna, and that's about it. The SmackDown women were going to be put aside, but that wasn't the case. I'm glad, because we were scared. I mean, SmackDown Women's Division has always been a little bit put to the side compared to the Raw one. So once we reached the ring, I expected it to become more of a match rather than like a movie, but it didn't happen. We had some nice spots with Asuka, Lacey, and Nia. Well, there was a military press that Nia tried to do with Lacey that even if it was edited, it looked really weird. I like the women's ride that Lacey did on Nia. We got a lot of women's ride in this match. Asuka was just, for me, the MVP of the match, not because she did a lot of different moves, but because she was funny, but at the same way, she looked smart doing it. She didn't look like Dana that was there to be kind of like the joke of the match. Asuka really looked like the smart person in this matchup. I love how when they were inside the ring and I was trying to get up from the women's ride, Asuka threw the ladder onto Nia's head. She wasn't going to let Nia steal her moment, because it was Asuka's moment. Even when she was on top of the ladder and King Corbin arrived, she slapped the shit out of him. He kicked him in the face, he fell, she grabbed the briefcase, she unhooked it, and now Asuka is our Miss Money in the Bank 2020. I'm glad that Asuka won. She earned it during this pandemic season. She has been a hardworking person. She was doing every show. She was trying to do her best to keep everyone entertained, but at the same time delivering good matches. She deserved it a lot. And overall, the Money in the Bank women's ladder match was good. It was funny. It wasn't really the extravaganza we expected, but at the same time we know the reasons why it wasn't, because all of this virus around the world is causing everything to change. So I'm glad that WWE tried to do something different. Like I said before, it looked like a parody at times, but it also had some funny moments. So I hope you guys like this review. I hope you give it a like, you give some comments if you like this type of content. What else would you like to see from this channel? And of course, click the subscribe button, click it here. If you want to follow my original channel, it is also over here. And I would also love to post very often on this channel, so it would be really good if you could tell me how often you want to see videos and what type of videos. I'm planning to do reviews, maybe my opinion on certain storylines or wrestlers, maybe some predictions, even trying to do another stuff like tops. We will see. But this is everything for now. Once again, I'm Alexis. Here's my social media if you want to follow me. If you don't, it's okay, I'm not gonna get mad. And this was Ring Royalty. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you next time.